Greetings, fellow denizens of Arrakis. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Dune Spice Wars, Episode 3, Controlling the Water. Should I go to the spice or go to the water? Leave that up to you. Alright, so here's the results. The results are that I gained Imperial Propaganda for extra authority. The Harkonnen voted for me, 86 votes for me, and then the minor houses voted 139 for me, and then I voted 80. And then I also got the gear regulations levied against me too. I basically predicted that it would. And that was Harkonnen at 64 votes, Fremen at 22, and the minor houses at 11. So, for the next 20 days, I am going to make 30% more authority, but my military units are going to be 30% weaker. And that is reflected up here. So, bonus authority for more territory annexations with weaker units. I'm okay with that. I sort of figured that would be the result. I'm going to get another scavenger. So I have 2 range, 2 melee, because I'm going to need extra units to make up the fact that my units are weaker. And then if you take a look at the individual units here, their power levels are lower now. I think the scavengers are normally 15, so it's down to 13. I think that's the case. Or like 18 or whatever. But whatever it is, they're 30% weaker.
Yeah? What?
Taking a look at this poll towards the water is what you guys want me to do. So I'm probably going to annex Odd Alab here, but at 83 authority, that's going to be a while. So in the meantime, what I could do is I could raid and pillage some adjacent territory instead. Jeez, this storm is like chasing this wrecker. I almost feel bad for the wrecker. No, you can't take the shuttle. You're in a storm. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to go raid Bira again. Because, you know, screw that territory in particular. I don't know why. Just might as well.
We'll stay hidden.
Come on, Storm. Leave me alone. I didn't do nothing to you. So here's the polar sink. There is a crash chopper down there for intel. And just the village here, Dalda, which is lightly guarded but costs a lot of authority because it's pretty distant from my base. So 55 of that authority cost is the distance, and 51 of it is because I own a lot of other villages.
What do you need?
All right, towards the water. Let's go. I think the next research I'm going to get is the intelligence network just to start these spying trees. It's also cheaper. It's faster because it's a lower tech. And then I'll probably start investing heavily in the military.
You alright, boss?
I'm alright, but you're not. You're in a storm, friend.
What do you need?
What do you want?
Oh, there is control groups. So much like a lot of the other games with control groups, control 1, 2, 3, whatever, will allow you to add units to control groups. And then if I select nothing and do control 1, 2, 3, it deselects it, and then 1 selects. So if I want to do control group everyone to 1, and then my meleeers to 2, and then my range to 3, I've just done that now. So if I hit 1, it's everyone. If I hit 2, it's the melees. If I hit 3, it's the ranged. So 1, 2, and that allows you to micromanage them a little bit easier and better. Alright, I have a lot of resources right now, and I haven't really been investing in structures, so at this village, let's see, adjacent, but it doesn't catch this. So probably at Burnham, I'm going to do a maintenance, because that will cover these 4, and potentially whatever's down here. I think what I need, because of my lack of manpower, is a recruitment office. So at COD here, I'll build a recruitment office, and then up here, I'm going to unlock the 4th slot to build another research hub. Because this region is special in that it can have 2 research hubs.
You asked for chemical experts.
Alright, let's go raid Burra. Burha, whatever it's called. And I'm 90-something% done with that crash shuttle. What are my choppers doing? What are you doing down here?
Let's move.
More black markets. Okay. This gave me guerrilla tactics. So damage against militia. And the pillage annex cost penalty is reduced by 100%. So this is actually what I was talking about before, where there's technology to, or research or whatever, to unlock the amount of penalty from pillaging. So this would be a really good one to get next, so that I can pillage away and not really have to worry about the consequences. Because that is about to happen to Burra.
What do you want?
And then maybe also I'll just start pillaging everything, because with guerrilla tactics, I won't really suffer any penalties as a result.
Copy. Roger. Copy.
Hey, Dead Dodo, thank you for the resub. So as soon as I get roughly 83 authority, or really, as soon as I'm done pillaging this, I'm going to send that army over here to add the Observatory Mountain to be 1 hop away from Dalda. I like to own contiguous territories, because if you don't, and you have to cross territories that you don't own, you'll suffer supply penalties and the like. Best not to do that to yourself. All right, let's also use my Arrakis agents to analyze this chopper so that I get more intel and be able to run some probes or something.
Yes.
And then you go to these anomalies. So the anomalies will periodically just pop up. So I know that this is going to be a scouting anomaly for something. Maybe a black market, which is not particularly useful to me. Or maybe something else that would be useful. But because the region isn't going to be given new resources mid-game, any additional little question marks that you get, are just temporary anomalies. So if I was really micromanaging this, I would have had each scavenger unit melee each ranged unit to lock them down and pin them down, but I didn't really do that, but it wasn't all that necessary either, because it's not like I was going to lose this fight. That would be the proper meta thing to do. Alright, so instead of taking control of this, I am going to pillage it. And then I'm also going to send all but one of my units out. I only really need 1 unit to pillage it, and it's going to be the unit with full health. And everybody else is going to go prepare to add... Uh-oh, there's a sandworm. Never mind. Go up there.
Great. More set ready to strike.
This sniper might die. I'm trying to run as fast as I can to the stone over there, but he might get swallowed up. Yep, there he goes. Bye. Rip. Yeah. Caught out in the open. All right, so let's get another sniper then.
What do you want?
Now that that sandworm has hit, I'm pretty safe to walk.
What do you want?
Just don't enter the soft sand region, because that's still vulnerable. But now I can see it. I did mention them before, sometimes the sandworms aren't exactly fair, and you could react immediately to them and just get swallowed anyway, and that's exactly what happened. So here, as you can see, pillaged ×2. So the authority required to annex this is up to by 8 as a result of me pillaging it multiple times, but once I research guerrilla tactics, that won't be an issue anymore. Let's get militia. So I'm going to get 1 melee, 1 ranged, 1 demo here in Harasek, because I do have the raids coming in and I'd like not to have to send my armies here every time they come raiding. So these guys will require some upkeep and the like, but it should be pretty good. Hey!
What do you want?
Harkonnen wants to insult me. Despite despising people may be my strong point, but no matter how violent, my contempt for you could never match the extent of your misery. Yeah, he's just insulting me. Thanks. I feel loved. Here's a special event up here. Some of these special events will provide some sort of bonus for you. Some of them will be special events to avoid some sort of penalty. So this special event has two different options. One, I can research 2 new developments in the next 30 days to earn 1,000 Solari. Or 2, I can find and resolve 2 crashed chopper events to gain an experimental chopper, which is like a temporary chopper. I obviously am going to want the money, so I'm going to try to get 2 new developments for the extra cash. And I have 30 days to resolve that.
What do you want? What do you want?
Alright, let's hang out here just to heal and wait for the sniper, and then we'll head out as a 4-person group to go annex Odd Alab.
You need a sniper?
Yes, I do need a sniper. Head out to Odd Alab for me. And this chopper has been resolved. So, given that I just resolved that, I do have half the progress. I'm working on a prototype, but that's not the result that I need. If I fulfill it and resolve both chopper events, I'm not required to take that bonus. I can still wait for the other one. Oh, here we go. A Harvester Rec. So a Harvester Rec is going to give me an economic development. So I'll start analyzing that.
What's next?
And a Sandworm at my Harvester. So let's recall. I recalled within seconds of the warning, or less than a second. And it gets swallowed anyway. So even if I had auto recall on, it would have died. There was nothing I could have done. That Harvester was dead. Now, the unfortunate thing about losing the Harvester is that Harvester was also crewed, and I'm not only going to be able to replace the crew with a 50 manpower, and I only have 11. So, ouch. What I think I'm going to do is add another manpower building, and I'm going to add it to Esha here. So at Esha, I'm going to build a recruitment office to add to my manpower gain, so that I can replace crew more easily.
Listening.
Hello.
You alright, boss?
Yeah, nom nom. It happens. Oh, another new agent. So this agent increases the Solari production by 1% per infiltration level. So I think what I'm going to do is move Luda over to Chom and move Alula over to Arrakis. So my 2 agents that are in here are going to give me 2% Plascrete and 2% Solari, because my infiltration level of Arrakis is level 2. And then this new one isn't going to provide any bonus until Chom hits level 1. But the reason I'm going with Chom is Chom is what I need to set up underworld cells, which is a way for me to annex territories more inexpensively. So that would be a really powerful mission to have, and it's unique to the smugglers. And in fact, I might even, once the Chom level hits 1, I might even move an agent from Arrakis to Chom so that I can have access to the underworld cells sooner. But I'm going to start using my intel to unlock probe setup, but I'm also going to use the 100 of my 105 intel for Poison the Reserves, because Poison the Reserves is a really good action to use when you're defending your own territory or attacking hostile territory, and you need a bit of an edge. You need to stop the enemies from regenning or something like that. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to cancel that. Oh, I can't even here we go. I won't be refunded? Yeah, no, never mind. Let's get it. Okay. One of my scavengers is going to walk right past their melee militia to go lock up their snipers.
Yes, boss.
Say something, Chief.
Yes. They'll die.
Another thing I might want to do is just to move my units onto sturdier terrain so that they can't be targeted by sandworms very easily. Now, the harvester that I had eaten is going to get replaced. So up here you can see that it's 50% rebuilt. And I'll get a little prompt at top once it's deployable. But there's nothing for me to do until it's deployable.
You asked for chemical experts. Captain Chief.
So now we're one hop away from the center.
I'm all ears.
And I'll probably end up sending my army to go pillage adjacent territories until I have enough authority to annex the center.
We ain't made it.
Cheers. What are my choppers doing? Oh, so there is a harvester wreck down here that's useful to note. If you want, you can turn off everything but scouting elements. I also find that flicking these on and off help you see those elements. So there are 2 harvester wrecks that I probably care about most, and then there's a crashed chopper that I could get as well right here.
Ready to go.
And then my probe has been set up, so I'm going to use the probe on... I'm going to start to reveal who's getting close to the center here. So here we have the boundary of Arrakis. It's green, so we know Arrakis is down there. Which means that I was right. Fremen is probably up here somewhere, and then Harkonnen is over there.
Yes?
Alright, Harvester is ready to go. Let's deploy. So it gets picked up by carryall and dropped off at the field. And I now control odd allow. Construction possible in this Seek. So, in the Siege. So here we go. I finally hit 2K hegemony. And what that allows me to do is to build specialty districts in my home base. There are different size districts, District 1, 2, and 3 size. So each siege, I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. Each siege has a different style district. So, for instance, Atreides has more districts than Smugglers. So the Smuggler Siege has a 3, a 2, and 4 1s. So what that means is, if I take a look over here at the economy, if I want to put 3 types of military, economy, or statecraft districts in the same area, I gain either 20% hegemony from Chome sales, 2 armor for all military units, or +4 influence production. And what that would require is for me to build 3 statecraft in the triple sized, and then the 2 size district can unlock 10% Solari production, 2 power, or increase max influence. And then the 1 siege districts always give you just 20% research speed for that type, statecraft, military, economy. So what I have to decide at this point is, do I want to start to invest? And the thing is, you don't get the bonus. So like, let's say I build a recruitment center here in this 3 size. I won't get the military academy bonus. I will only get the master armorer bonus when all 3 buildings are constructed. So what you have to decide is, do you want to start working towards a big bonus, a triple stack bonus, or do you want to start filling in the individual bonuses? And then also, what big bonus do you want? So because I am smuggler, I probably want to invest my 3 stack as economic, because that's going to benefit me more than military or statecraft, likely. And then my 2 stack, because there's only 4 types of economic buildings, my 2 stack won't be able to be economic. Now, I believe that the Fremen have one type of building that can act as a wild card, which is actually really powerful to build in a 1 stack, because it will give you 20% investment, 20% military, 20% statecraft, but smugglers don't have that. So I can't have an economic 3 and an economic 2. I have to have like an economic 3 and like a military or statecraft 2. So I think I'm going to go economic 3, military 2, and the military buildings I'm likely to want is barracks, which is more health and regen experience, which is really powerful. And then maybe command post, which is also more power. Whereas weapons facility, which is power for my main base, is not that important because I don't think my main base is going to get attacked. And recruitment office is just some more training slots and manpower. It allows you to have a bigger army, but I'd rather have a more powerful army. So I'm going to start with the economic, and I'm going to build the research center, which gives me more knowledge and reduces the upkeep for research hubs, which is good because, well, I have 2 of them, and their upkeep is 12 Solari and 8 Plascrete. I'm the only one to have hit 2K. Atreides is at 1.1K, so they're a little bit behind, so I don't need to worry about that. I worry about them developing anytime soon. Oh, man! There's a crashed spaceship. That's great. These crashed spaceships give huge amounts of development. So that's definitely what I'm going to get next in just a second here. I'm going to send this chopper to resolve the Fremen camp for some extra Plascrete, because my Plascrete's pretty low. In fact, my entire economy is pretty low, as you can see. One of the things I can do to bolster up my economy is start to sell more of my spice to Chum instead of the Imperial bribes. Puppy treats. So investigated, and that there gave me a bit of progress towards more harvesting crews, which is nice. All right, next, crash spaceship. That's a huge boon right there. And I now control this little town. So I'm going to sit here to heal, and then I will... Actually, I'm not even going to heal. I'm going to go raiding immediately.
Earn our wages.
Bribe has been paid. And selling 70-30. Wow. Okay, selling 40-60. I still don't have enough spice. Dang. All right, sell 50-50, and I will have enough spice. Now, one thing I could do is go to the black market here and just spend 200 Solari to buy spice. And that's another good way to kickstart your spice amount.
What do you want?
Yes.
X3M, thanks for the follow. You're welcome.
Let's move.
Alright, so there's a little anomaly in the desert. And then you are getting the Plascrete for me. Good. Buildings here. So the Plascrete... Oh no, this... Yeah, so the Plascrete production in the Observatory Mountain is doubled. So I'm definitely going to build a Plascrete first, because that's 60 Plascrete. And here's what I was mentioning. I can build this Plascrete building anywhere I want. Enemy armies will tend to only attack military buildings, not your economic or statecraft ones. So it doesn't really matter where I build the Plascrete factory. But if I built, let's say, a missile battery instead, that could very easily be individually targeted by an enemy army and taken out. So you should keep in mind where you actually position these things. So if I do end up building a missile silo, it should be probably as close as Dalna as possible. That would provide me a lot of benefit. Okay, point of interest done. Resolve. Give me that Plascrete.
Yes. Mostly like burning chest bay.
Also, another thing, owning this Observatory Mountain is very much responsible for me getting the 2000 hegemony, because owning this region is a special region and gives me 500. So it's almost a fifth of my total hegemony. Big boon.
Engine's hot.
Alright, so here is the next council vote. I am still, for 6 more days, suffering from the gear regulations, but benefiting from an Imperial propaganda. So these votes are either support or not support. They're council vote number 2. So this will affect everybody, and I don't really... That way there was no bounty. Now, normally, if you're other factions, you have some base votes. So if I was, let's say, Atreides, I would have 100 votes to put down without even spending any influence. But for me, because I'm smuggler, and my reputation with Landsraad is very bad, it's, or non-existent really, I don't get base votes until I hit Hegemony 5k. Which means that anything that I support or decline, I have to spend influence on, so I really only should to do it if I really care about the outcome. And for these, I don't care about the outcome, because it will affect everybody equally, so it's not putting me in an advantage or disadvantage, unlike the Imperial Propaganda and the gear regulations. So in this vote, I am not going to participate whatsoever. It does not matter. I'm not using my influence. So guerrilla tactics is nearly done. And next up, I think I'm going to get spying logistics. It will increase my agent recruitment speed so I get more spies, and it also unlocks the intelligent agency building. Another thing that I could do, besides that, is to think about how I'm going to develop my siege. So if I want the 3-stack benefit of more hegemony from Chom sales, or shares, one of the things that I can do is to start to work towards one of these other buildings. So the Harvester building, the Chom branch, or the recycling vat. The Chom branch requires economic lobbying, which is here, which is after modular parts. And then the Harvester works is after modular parts. So if I did modular parts and economic lobbying, I would be able to build that 3-sized economic district in my home siege, which might be a good route to take. And then there is also the recycling vats, which require water trade, which is here, which is 2 research. So I'm going to ask you, poll, have you vote. What research to get? Economic for the siege district, or military for conquest, or spying because smug. You know, the fact that we're smugglers. Have you pick on that? Trade request. More garbage. Go away, Fremen.
We're listening. I'm all ears. Yes, final.
Alright, so that's my Plascrete factory. That's going to really help out with my Plascrete amount. The wind strength here isn't great, but it's not terrible either, so I'll build a water, or a wind trap for water.
You need a sniper?
Oh, here comes the raids. This raid, interestingly, took a different route and did not go through the desolation, so they're not as wounded, as you can see.
Ready to strike.
But it doesn't really matter because my Harasek, I have 3 militia. So here we go. Crash spaceship. Resolve. And we gained huge amounts of water cellar contacts. And maybe a little bit of bonus to guerrilla tactics. I'm not really sure. That was big. Alright, let's go for this economic wreck next. Also, this is the first region that I found that has the energy sources. Energy sources increase the amount of output from fuel cell factories. There was also the volcano region. Where was that volcano region? Here? Oh, here it is. This volcano region, which doubles it. So this volcano region, if I wanted to build fuel cells, would be a really good one to own and control.
Yeah? What?
What do you want? Great.
There you go.
What's that?
Pillaged, and I'm going to have them go back to Harsak and then go defend against this oh, no, they actually did walk through the desolation. I'm going to defend against this, this raid, and then probably go pillage Holtar. And if I have time, Ya El Nye, or whatever it's
You
called.
need a sniper.
Because for me to be able to annex Dalna, I need 137 authority, and I'm not that close just yet. So I might as well have my armies do something productive. I did just get 2 techs. Really? What tech did I unlock? Did I get diplomatic maneuvers for free? I think I did. I think I instantly unlocked that fully. Which means that I can resolve this. Boom. 1,000 Solari. Nakobal, thank you for the resub. A full year, too. Yeah, Declan, you and I just saw the same thing, which is that I got that as totally free, which is crazy.
That's our job. Yes?
Alright, I'm going to attack them before they even get to Harsak, so they don't get to monopolize Harsak's security. And I'm also going to spend some Plascrete to be able to add a wind trap here, even though it's only going to add 6 to my water. 6 to my water will help me annex territories a little bit better. And development research is done. So guerrilla tactics is now done. I no longer suffer penalties from pillaging. So I think we went economic for the siege. So I'm going to get modular parts and then economic lobbying. I also have enough manpower to put a crew in this harvester. But I'm a little worried about fighting this exposed, because I'm in the middle of the desert, so... Concern. Just a little concern. What do I want to build here? I could build an airfield here to be able to very quickly deploy to this area. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have the fuel cells. I think that's a wise choice.
Ready to strike.
As long as we're paid.
Alright, pretty soon here, I will no longer be suffering from the gear regulations, so let's take a look at that. It's going to be in 2 days, maybe a little less.
What do you want?
So there goes that raid. Uh-oh. Yep, sandworm. Run! Run! Faster! Hate sandworms.
Yes?
As long as we're paid.
Alright, I'm going to wait a second for them to pass so that I don't risk going out there right now.
Yes? Yeah.
What do you need?
Yes, boss.
Is it over? Yeah, it's over. Damn sandworms. Oh, another spice field. Nice. And it's going to be directly adjacent the water. Atreides is getting a little close to it, but I'm not in any way concerned about how close I'm getting. I'll fight him. Alright, this harvester wreck is for economic development. So, I am guaranteed that the economic development is going to be for modular parts, which is going to be really useful. Resolve. Boom, modular parts just jumped up a whole lot. Nice. Alright, what do I want to analyze next? More harvester wreck? I'm actually going to leave this for now because there's probably not enough room for it to even be a benefit to me. And I'm going to save that until I have modular parts done. So I'm going to go for the crash shuttle next because getting support structures or ground command both would be really useful.
Yeah? What?
You need a sniper.
Okay, the results are in. Manpower upkeep has increased by 30%. Doesn't really affect me because I had enough overhead in my manpower to pay for it. But everybody is now affected by that. The whole globe. Or in this case, I guess it's technically flat Arrakis, because it's not much of a globe. So now that I have the shuttle airfield built, I can pick up my troops and redeploy them. And then also, because of guerrilla tactics, I don't have that that penalty to pillage. As you can see, it's a 0. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pillage Hadrek here, and then annex Dalda. And then I'll be back to Hadrek once I have the influence to annex that, because that's a spice field. That would be really useful to have. And there, my airfield is done, and the water traps are done. Oh, I'm actually suffering from a manpower penalty, so let me see. I can't build 2 recruitment offices here, or here, and this has its buildings used up. I need to build one somewhere, so I think what I'll do is I will break down the wind trap, which really hurts my feelings, to build a recruitment office so that I don't suffer recruitment penalties, because if I run out of manpower, it weakens my armies. Don't want that. They're already, there we go. So I'll have that built before I hit 0. I'm having my units target their units to minimize the amount of damage that I take. And that first research center is now built. So that provides me knowledge. And then also it reduces the upkeep of the research hubs that I already have, which is really nice. And I'm working towards unlocking Harvester Works and Chome Branch. Another thing I could do in the meantime is to build a different facility. So my 2-stack, I think I was going to have as power. I really like barracks. I think they're very powerful, but I don't have ground command. So I'll probably do a barracks and a command post, but I don't have the research for that. That would be support structures and ground command, which is 1 and 2. So they're the next 2 research that I can unlock. And as you can see, there's little icons here that are like siege but benefits. That's what that little icon there means.
Yes, boss.
Alright, it's telling me that something is possible to be built. What I could do is start filling up these 1-slot areas, but I'm about to get modular parts in like seconds, so I don't think I'm going to jump the gun on that. Alright, there we go. I got it. So here is the second building. I'll do Harvester Works. So Harvesters gather more spice, and they respawn faster, and crews give them increased defense. What I will say is I almost never see crews actually get attacked. These Harvesters get attacked. The AI just doesn't bother to do that, because the Harvesters are actually pretty well defended and tough to kill. So here, I am going to be pillaging you. Sorry, but it's going to happen. I'm going to have my sniper pillage, while the other troops go back to Odd over here to regen, because the sniper is full health and full supplies.
We'll stay hidden. Yes,
And I'm going to want
boss.
them fully healed so that I can go attack Dalda.
We're listening. Yeah, we're going.
Would Water Trader's technology be really good because of the... Yes, it would be really good for me to get the water sellers. In fact, I'm going to do that after economic lobbying, because I need the water sellers contracts to be able to unlock the water extractor building, which allows me to extract water out of this polar sink. So there's no point in controlling this. Well, there's a little bit of a point, because it does provide you hegemony, but there's not much of a point controlling the polar sink unless you're actually extracting the water that's there. So absolutely, that would be a good one to queue up.
I'm all ears.
And research. Let's see what I get. I got ground command. Nice. Alright, now I'm going to go back to here, the harvester rack for the economic development, because with any luck it will give me economic lobbying, but if it gives me grid X plane, that's fine. I could still use that sometime in the future.
Ready to go.
So here you can see the border of Harkonnen's territory and the border of Atreides' territory, so they're getting pretty close to one another. I'm getting pretty close to Atreides. I have not yet... Oh, here is the border of Fremen, which is over the Desolation, which is not likely to be contested because you can't own it. But this red chasm here could be the battleground between me and the Fremen.
I'm all ears.
Oh, we found a spice field up there. Nice. And there we go with the recruitment office. So I'm not in a manpower negative. I am in a Solari negative, but I can sell a little bit more of my spice to Chom to offset that negative. It's also not that big of a deal because I also have all these black market sites where I can just sell spice, bulk spice for Solari.
Yes, boss.
All right, let's go get Delta. And there's some other things that I could do to sort of raise the amount of money that I have. I could try to get this region here with rare elements to exploit it for money. And then I could also build excess fuel cell factories because I have the research of energy markets. So any fuel cells that I'm not using becomes Solari. So my 10 extra fuel cells right now is becoming 30 extra Solari, which is kind of nice. Or 32 in this case. So that'd be another way to sort of prop up your economy. So I could actually do that here in this region. I could just decide to build a fuel cell factory. But I think I'm going to build a maintenance center. Because the maintenance center would cover 1, 2, and 3, and eventually 4. Esha already is covered by a maintenance center, as you can see. It already has organized supply, but at least here covers 4 zones, which is pretty good adjacency bonuses.
Yes. Engines up.
Alright, taking a look at my espionage. Chom is at 1, so I'm gonna get a probe and then move one of these agents from Arrakis to Chom, because I'd really like to get underworld cells. Wait a second. Why does it show... No, maybe I don't need that. It says... This might be a bug. It says that I need Chom 1 and Chom 1. It probably means... It's probably supposed to be like Chom 1 and Space Guilds 1, or Chom Run and Landsrad 1 or something, but whatever. It's a bug. I don't care. I'll keep my agents the way they were. It's one of those, like, I can submit a bug report down here, but maybe not while I'm streaming.
What do you want?
That does seem like a bug to me.
What do you want? Ready to strike.
So in, like, 1 second, I'll be able to annex this. There it goes. Done. Now I have the polar sink.
Yes, boss.
Not bad. Bugs. So the next thing I think I really need to focus on is getting another spice field. Had up here is 104, and this is 89, but this is also pretty far away. I'm not sure. I'll probably go to the one that's really far away, though. And this is economic development. And it did actually add to economic lobbying, which is perfect, because that's what I needed. So here we are in Dalda. We just annexed it. I'm going to place... I actually don't know what I'm going to build here. Maybe Plascrete.
What do you want?
And then due to my lack of money, I guess what I could do is pay for airfare to here. I'm going to raid these 2 villages and then annex Dalrek. Mission succeeded with the probe. I will probe the deep deserts. That will save my choppers a lot of time doing the searching and whatnot. And let's go get more intel.
What do you want?
So as you can see, this airfield covers Dalda. So if anyone comes rolling up to attack Dalda, I can protect it pretty easily. And I'm also going to fill it with militia, so it's not a soft target. But because no one owns the adjacent tiles to the polar sink, I don't suspect that the polar sink is going to be contested anytime soon. No one's going to come for it until they own the adjacent tiles. Generally speaking, the AI doesn't jump 2 tiles, nor does the player, because it really doesn't help to jump like that.
Yeah.
All right, Bira, I am sorry, but or Birha, I'm pillaging you for the 3rd time. You're just so tasty. Just so tasty.
You call me.
Comms request.
What do you want?
He's insulting me. Cool. All right, so the next council, I can put bounties. So minus 30% chom spice exchange rate would be really terrible for me to get hit with. So I'm going to put a bounty on... You know, I'm not going to bounty. I'm going to save my money, but I am going to put all my influence behind voting on some other faction and not me. But I don't want to use money to not have to have my exchange rate worse, because that doesn't make much sense. Oh, and I do have a raid coming to Dalda. So this scavenger, how big is this raid? I'm gonna send 1 scavenger back to deal with that, because my militia's not constructed yet. It's 2 snipers. Okay.
We ain't paid enough.
Here, sniper, you come with too. Excuse you.
Ready to strike. Yes, boss.
Oh, it's 3 of them. Cute.
You need a sniper?
Yeah?
Alright, Wrecker.
What?
Actually, Wrecker, you stay there. This scavenger back up. Pillage. And then you get to airfield. Now, what ends up happening when it's they're trying to liberate it? While it's trying to be liberated, my militia isn't being recruited anymore because it's like frozen progress, which kind of sucks because that means the 3 militia that easily could have dealt with a raid like this are all tied up in, and I can't use them for being deployed or anything like that. So it's kind of annoying, but oh well. These things happen. So this scavenger here is basically just playing out the clock, waiting for backup. Ooh, and another spice field. Nice. So Oros borders 2 spice fields. That's good to know. My point of interest is researched. That gives me more intel, and then I will analyze more down choppers for more intel. Alright, you join me.
What do you need?
And this is why airfields are really, really powerful. Thank you for tuning in to Dune Spice Wars. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch live streams of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com or the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dune smugglers.